Hello everyone, I am Bradley Sward, Associate Professor of Computer and Information Science at the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen, Illinois. And this video today is my solution to Day 10's 2021 Advent of Code. The problem is called syntax scoring. This video is both parts 1 and 2. I was fortunate to get this thing going. Syntax scoring. So, oops, there's my code. Let's get back to the problem just for a brief moment here. So my goodness, look at all this. This is like a stack lover's dream here, because all the way the characters are all lining up. So I have these chunks, and everything has to close each other off. So, and we're getting to near the end of our term here with the assembly language class, and this is where we're doing all sorts of stack manipulations and things like that, but a different kind of stack. That's the runtime stack. This is the stack data structure. So these are valid. All these are valid if when I hit a closing brace, that the top of the stack, if it's a left-facing one, or whatever you want to call these guys here, we're going to push it onto the stack. And when we see these guys, we're going to try to pop off the stack, and we got to make sure that it's a matching character. And if not, then the thing is corrupted. Then the line has to be corrupted. And then we're going to do some scoring on that. But if we go through the whole thing and we can't find a case of that, it's either complete or incomplete, but it's definitely not corrupted. So that's where part 2 is going to come into play here, but not necessarily for right now. So the whole idea is to go line for line, find all the lines that are corrupted, and then tally up the scores for the corrupted lines. So that's the idea here. So here is my code to read in the data. This is my data here. It's a lot of data here, a lot of lines, a lot of big stuff. Oops. Okay, so then that reads in everything into basically lists, right? So, or I'm sorry, strings. I guess you could think of it that. Yeah, they're strings. And so I'm setting up all the left characters and all the right characters and their associated scores when it comes down to it. And so the rest of this isn't too bad. None of this is really too bad when it comes to it. And so the idea is go for each line. And I guess I don't need the found. I don't need found just yet, not for part 1. Thought I did, but I didn't need it. And all I'm doing is going character for character, like I said. And if the character is inside one of these, if it's a left face, or it's one of these left guys, then I put it on the stack. And the stack is a misnomer. I'm just using a list as a stack, and I'm not aware of a default stack functionality as part of Python. So anyway, so if it's in the left part, then we append it, and if it's in the right, then we have to check to see if we have the matching pair here. So we say, okay, find the character I have, find that in my right in here, because it has to be, it'll be one of these 4 guys. I hope so anyway. And then if it is, get me the index of where that thing is in here, and then say, oh, okay, if the back of my stack or the top of my stack is equal to the left, basically a parallel array or a parallel list, basically the same character in the other list here, which will be the correct character, because we're looking for, say, if we have a right curly brace, then we need to see a left curly brace at the top of the stack. So this is just a way to convert the character I see into its appropriate other one and see if they're equal. And if it's not, then we have then the list is incomplete, or then we have a broken string, and we just add the scores by their score values, and then we break out immediately, because there's nothing, we don't want to continue calculating because we're done. But if we go through every one of these things, or every time we find one on the right, and we say, oh, okay, you're telling me that there is a matching character on the other side, I delete the top of the stack, and the -1 lets me wrap around so I can get to the top of the stack. And I just keep doing this for every character. And basically, or for each character, until I find a stoppage or I hit the end of the line, and for every line in here. And when I run the thing, my answer comes up as 343,863, which is exactly what this is going to come up with. Okay, so part 2 now says get rid of all those incomplete lines. So let's just focus on I'm sorry, not the incomplete ones. Let's focus on the ones that are not corrupted, which are incomplete or complete lines. We don't know we just presume everything is pretty much incomplete. But now what I have is, what I want to maintain is basically what is that stack that I still have remaining? When I hit the end of everything, what is that what does the stack show? And then I want to work my way backwards following their formula. And so every character on the stack is going to multiply the total score by 5 and add some character. And then it's going to take that and multiply by 5 and add some character. And that's where we're going with this guy too, where, you know, so we're, and then that's going to create a whole list of elements. And apparently I'm told that there's always going to be an odd number. I don't know how you know that. I guess it's just, I haven't been thinking about that because I've been just thinking about getting this video complete. But apparently there's going to be an odd number of lines. And so you keep track of the score for each line in another list, and then at the end of the day, find the middle one. So you sort the list, check out the middle one, and call it a day. And I'll show you that here. Okay, that's part one. That's part two. The same data. The scores are slightly different now, and again, I'm just going back to the rules for what we're doing here. And now I'm using this code from the first part, and I'm creating a secondary list called incomplete. And instead of keeping scores, when I find something that isn't corrupted, right now I'm just throwing it onto that list. So when I get done churning, I have a list, and I don't need to print it anymore. But I have a list of incomplete lines which we can work our way back. And so now, oops, this is part two solution. And so now that's kind of the easy part. And so now, because of the way everything is working, and I don't want to play too much with it, I can go through every line I can go through in reverse order through using this code. For those of you who are kind of new to Python, that just means go through from the beginning to end, but do it in a reverse manner. And so what I do is for every element, yeah, let me just print out. Let me just show you. Let me just quickly print. I'll print out the incomplete here just for a second here, just to show you. Oh my goodness. So just take this one into account here. They're all going to be ones that are, you know, basically left-hand side ones. And so we're just going to work our way back, but we have to work our way back this way because of the way the rules work out. So I have to say, oh, the first element in my reversed search is the open square bracket. And so the open square bracket is in the location 3 here, and its value is 2. So that's all I'm doing here is going in reverse order. I'm taking my total, multiplying by 5, and then I'm figuring out from X what that character is. I'm going into the left-hand side here and finding which index that thing is in here, and then I'm using that index to index into here to get the score value to add. But I'm just doing that over and over and over and over again. And when I hit the end of the line, or basically when I get through all of this, I'll have a score and I'll put it into a list. And I'll just keep on going here. Let me just print out the total. Oops, sorry, print out the points. So I'll just do that now. I'll show you here. So there are all the numbers of these are all the scores for all the lines that are incomplete. And then I basically just take that list, sort it, and I can, since I know it's going to be right in the middle and they said it's always going to be an odd number, I can just find the length of points and do integer division by 2, and that will always get me the solution of this number here to, I don't even know if that's billion or whatnot, but you see that is what I get here. So that covers everything day 10. If you have any questions, you know a better way to do things. I love the way you guys are helping me out a little bit and teaching me new stuff between this and the Matthew Scroggs advent as well, like learning all sorts of new cool stuff about Python and mathematics and congruences and all sorts of cool stuff. So thanks for sticking it out as always. Please comment below. Have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully the problem's easy. Take care, everybody.